Caution, caution. So, to all the parents that are watching this episode, you should be a little bit cautious if you're around your kid that still believes in Santa Claus. Just putting that out there because they might be like, "What? What?" So just saying that. Bye.
Welcome to Living in 3D Power, a space where questions matter, stories heal, and joy is our practice. I'm Dr. Amber Sessoms, and each week I sit down with my daughter Emma to talk honestly about life, identity, and the power of wonder. This season, we're guided by a sacred invitation. What would it look like if joy was our strategy, not our reward? Here, we discover truths long buried, discern paths toward freedom, and devote ourselves to living with authenticity and love. Together, across generations, we're learning that joy is not the prize at the finish line. It's the rhythm that carries us forward.
Hey, it's me, Emma. Welcome back to Living in 3D Power. And today we're basically going to talk about what we're thankful for in this year. What happened in this year, basically, that you're thankful for.
Yeah, and it really just came. This is going to be a short one. My friend Hattie B. McCarter, Hattie Bethia, I always call her Hattie Bethia, that's her maiden name, but she was one of the people that gave you a special birthday message last week. So Hattie's awesome. We have a Circle of Trust group, and in the group text yesterday, she posed a question, and it really gave me pause because...
Beep.
Because I felt like I didn't have an answer, and it made me think, ooh, Amber, you're really tender right now. You're feeling some big feelings, and it's okay. But for someone who, this season we're talking about joy, and so her question is, you ready for this question? Very good question.
Yes.
I had to write it down. As we get ready for the end of the year, with a grateful heart, what are 3 blessings you are grateful for this year? One of them being one you never saw coming. So I saw the question and I'm like, I don't have anything.
You gotta think deep.
And I think that's the part that really gave me pause. It made me think about the season that I'm in. It's Christmas Eve, thinking about this is the first Christmas, we've been celebrating holidays without Avery. And it just sucks, actually. So just leading up to that, thinking about how I'm thinking, and I've been noticing I'm a little bit more irritable. I'm not sleeping. Not Emma giving the eyes yes. But that's a part of grief, irritability.
Me too, Mommy, me too.
Yeah, I know, because you crashed out today, fell out on the ground, doing the most, all dramatic. This is where we're at. So we're being gentle with ourselves. But it made me think, so when you're saying, you got to think, right? And sometimes what we need other people in our lives, loved ones, community members to help us to find the answers. So I was talking to Aunt Dana on the phone about this question because I was like, I don't have an answer. I must be heavy in this grief thing right now. And she goes, you have lots of things. Remember you were on the phone and you think you were on speakerphone? And so she named a couple of things for me. And she said, you and Emma starting the podcast. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good one. So she said that. She said, the book publisher reaching out to you. True. And then she was like, and Tracy Michelle Lewis Jiggets, reaching out. And I was like, oh, those are things. So it's really helpful to have someone in your life that can reflect back to you when you're in, some darkness or when you can't see it for yourself. So just thinking about those 3 things she said, the one that I never saw coming was the podcast. I would say that with you. We started it almost a year ago, Emma. So mid-January, I want to say we started it, or towards the end of January. That sound about right? So we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary, which is amazing, in a couple weeks. And thinking about, I never saw it coming. So I think I said before, there's things in my life where I overanalyze everything. But this was one thing I was like, let's just do it. There was no fear there. And that was really, I feel like, God-driven because I just followed what he said, the inspiration. And it's been such an awesome blessing. And because of that, the unexpected blessing.
I'm surprised we haven't became a meme yet.
maybe we'll have to Google ourselves just to see.
I have Googled myself.
You Google yourself. Do you see yourself come up? Oh my gosh. I usually Google myself every once in a while just to see, make sure there's nothing weird out there that I need to kind of stop. But because that has happened sometimes with my work, I've had to get some people involved because they were putting some things out about my work, particularly when diversity, equity, inclusion was, well, it still is being attacked. People kind of pegged me and put me in that hole, so they were coming against me. But anyway, we digress. So thinking about the podcast, yes, you Google yourself and you're coming up now. What has been awesome is, so when she said, when Aunt Dana was like the book publisher reaching out. So back to Hattie again, I remember this summer, and I wrote about this in a Substack newsletter. I'll put the link in the show notes. But she pulled me aside, like we were in the parking lot getting ready to leave after we had dinner together with our girls group. And she goes like, friend, in her like, her Southern accent. And she's like, I love everything you're doing, but God told you to write that book. And I was like, geez, Hattie. And so for a publisher to reach out, you know, part of the reason why they reached out?
Wow.
They saw the podcast. And the other part was that they are publishers for school psychology. So they were looking at the National Association of School Psychologists, and they saw my name there too. So thinking about, I took a leap of faith, we started this podcast, and now people are starting to recognize it. And potentially, because I remember like so many people have spoken life and saying, girl, you need to write a book. Write a book about your story, or write a book about your keynotes. And one friend in particular, Steve Sharp, talked about the first season, he was like, this is a book, Amber. Every episode is a chapter. And I'm kind of like, oh, Steve, that's, yeah. And now as I'm preparing this article for our paper, for our presentation, I'm like, this is definitely a book. Yes. So here's the wild thing. So I did that. I'm kind of getting my juices flowing again. I feel like I've been kind of dormant and just meh. Remember we talked about how we feel with grief, and I just kind of I've lacked inspiration. So I had a moment of inspiration. I did this I have to show it to you. It's actually pretty cool. One of them is a road map, and it's kind of like a neighborhood or a city, and I'm going through my ideas. So each stop along the way is a different idea for a book. And then the other one I did is kind of like, I did it in Canva. I know, Canva's pretty cool. The other one I did was, it's like a forest and it's river flowing through it. So every stop along the way is a part of my keynote.
Every
Rock or like, yeah, it's like waterfalls, there's all types of things along the way. So the one with the road map, as I was doing that and laying out a book or the paper that I'm writing for our presentation, I'm like, this is actually a book. And less than 24 hours later, a book publisher reaches out, wanting to connect. So I'm like, I didn't get too excited, but I remember saying something to Hattie and sending it to Hattie, and she goes, I told you. like it's awesome to have people in your life that see something and they don't, without hesitation. And I'm like, girl, you are that girl. So again, I think that was cool. And then also seeing that Tracy Michelle Lewis Jiggets, like for her to send you a birthday message, and she's an NAACP Image Award winner, is pretty awesome. And I'll say the last thing, like, so I do have a fourth, and so it's kind of getting my juices flowing. It's tender, and it's kind of like the both and of grateful for Avery and his short 36 years of life, because what I've been realizing even in his death is just how much he loved. And as you saw that when we had his homegoing service, and there were people that couldn't even get in the door. I mean, over 700 people, like 600 could fit inside the sanctuary. There was probably another 150 or so outside the door, over 1,000 views online. I haven't even looked at the views lately. But what that showed me is when you live unapologetically and fully and with love, that returns tenfold. And that legacy is something that has been beautiful. Even connecting with my niece Addie, your cousin Addie, and talking to her about Uncle Avery and how much wisdom, even though he was my little brother and he was ridiculous, he was the most, even in that, there was wisdom in that she really is holding on to, and it's inspiring her to continue on her journey and to not give up. So I think that is the gratefulness that I have. And what I don't want to happen is waiting for someone to die to recognize all of who they are and loving how they show up in the world. So those are my 3, 4 that Aunt Dana helped me with. And then I was able to really think about Avery and just the awesomeness that he brought to our lives and continues to. So do you want me to read the question again, or do you already know the question? You know the question? So 3 blessings you are grateful for this year, and the one that's unexpected or you never saw coming.
So, do I have to do one?
However you want to do it.
Okay. So, one unexpected thing was when I got my paycheck.
I'm going to flash it on the screen because your face, you were like, that was hilarious. Officially, and what did you say? What would you say? I'm a professional. That was a big deal. But why did you get that check? What happened that day?
Because I did a live performance.
A live performance. We did a live podcast in front of hundreds of 7th grade girls on a stage in a theater. Yeah, and you got a check for that. So I think that was super unexpected, but it was awesome. What did that teach you, like that moment?
That you sometimes you do stuff for fun, and sometimes you do stuff for fun and then get a reward.
I like that. It's interesting you say that because I was talking to JoJo today about, she's trying to navigate and figure out what she wants to do with her future. And I'm like, part of we talked about this before, cooking. Like, she's awesome at cooking, right?
Her food is good.
So good. And part of what I said before, I think on a podcast, is that our job as parents is to train up a child in the way they should go. So when they grow old, they don't depart from it. And people think that's scripture. What that really means is that we're training you up in your gifts and talents that God has blessed you with, so that you can find a purpose, a job, or whatever in that to really bless the world with. So JoJo's definitely cooking, right? So for you, there's something about you speaking your empathy, all of those things, and you're putting it to use in this podcast. So I can't wait to see what that looks like for the future for you. But so when you say there's things that you do for fun and sometimes you get rewarded, how awesome would it be to find a career path that you love and you get rewarded, you get paid for? Man, I feel like that's everyone's dream. So how people say, if you never got paid for it, what would you do for the rest of your life? That's finding something, your purpose, and not worrying about reward. But to get rewarded, that's a double blessing. Yeah. So that's my prayer for all of y'all girls, is that you find a career and a path that's aligned with your purpose and what you have been destined to do on this earth. And that most days it doesn't feel like work because it's you aligning with your path. It's still going to be hard at times, but you're walking your purpose. Kibo says he agrees. So that was your first one. You got paid, so you a professional speaker now. So y'all, if you want to book Emma for speaking, doing a live podcast, drop us a DM. You up for that, Em, in 2026?
Yeah. I can't believe it's not going to be 2026.
Well, you'll be doing that for our national convention in February, so.
Yeah.
Speaking to a room of school psychologists.
I forgot about that.
No big deal, no big deal.
Yeah. I'm going to say 2 more since you said 3, not
Okay.
4. Getting baptized.
Getting baptized. Say more.
It was, they say memorable?
Well, a blessing you are grateful for this year.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that because I feel like I'm closer to the church and God.
Yeah. And that was, thinking about that, I think that was the same week that Uncle Avery died. So it was that Tuesday he died, and then you got baptized that Sunday. And I almost was like, let's just cancel it. It's too much. But I'm so glad we didn't, because I didn't want to rob you of that moment. And I know he would have been so proud of you too. So it was like seeing you and being behind the scenes and seeing you back there was pretty awesome. That I got a front row seat, because as deaconesses in the church, like, we help every first Sunday to do that. But to have my daughter and me to help you get dressed and like undressed and like getting all that stuff together was really, really cool for me to be front and center. But it was just like the both and of that moment. And I'm so glad that the family still showed up and supported you and loved on you, even though we were really tender. But both things can exist, right? We talk about joy and grief can coexist. And I think that was a beautiful blessing because that was your rebirth and you deserve to have that moment and to be celebrated by the family and the church. And then we had a little thing here at the house afterwards. So I think that was awesome. And then I think we ended up going over Papa Betty's and Uncle Mel's after that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did. I hanged out with Coco.
Yeah. So it was good. It was a good day.
Yeah. And then my last one is being closer with my cousin Freddie.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about that.
I feel like we got in closer because I been coming over to their house more than often because I didn't really go over to their house unless there was an event. And when I did, I didn't really see Freddie.
Yeah. So it's good. He's been asking for you, like, where's Emma? And I think so that has come out of this experience that we're navigating that, again, the both and the grief and joy has come and building new relationships or forming stronger relationships. And Kibo said he's over it. So he just jumped down, y'all.
Well,
but we got both dogs on in our room today. Hero's actually been good. I don't even know if y'all can see him. And if you heard the shaking, that was the dog shaking because dogs just do that for some reason. But I think those are really good 3. So was it unexpected one? Are they all unexpected?
I'd say all of them, maybe.
Yeah. I think the first one, though, was the most unexpected because of your facial expression. But I think this is a really good practice because this season can be really hard for a lot of people. So if you're not on social media, but if you were on social media, you would see a lot of posts about being gentle with yourself or understanding that not everyone is celebrating and happy about the holiday. Self-care Sunday. Yeah. But not everyone is celebrating this holiday season because it's really hard for a lot of people because they're missing loved ones or maybe they're too far away from their family, they can't travel, or they don't have the money to give the gifts that they want to. But what we know in the Christian faith, it's not about all that. This kid and yawning.
I'm tired.
It's not about all that. And I think sometimes, I know.
It's about spending
time together. And so much of what we said and what we're grateful for is that. Like, was there anything that we said about
gifts, money?
No. You did say about you got paid.
But
But think about that overwhelmingly. I think people at the end of their lives, when they look back over their lives, they're not talking about, oh, I'm so glad I'm a millionaire. I'm so glad I got that yacht or that car. When it comes down to it, it's really connections with people.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's the beautiful part. And it also, so for us, gifts are not that important, which is why I think last time when you had that beautiful birthday message, that didn't cost anything. And I think that's something that will live with you forever. So how do we create more of those types of memories? And how do we understand what this holiday season is about? It's the birth of Jesus, not buying all the things and spending tons of money. So, because what my mom used to say is you got to live another day. So don't be going broke behind Christmas. You got to live another day. You got bills to pay, right? So thinking about that and how do we celebrate that? You know something I used to do when I was a kid?
What?
So you remember, where were we? You remember, I can't remember where we were, and someone said about, it was in church. Were you in church that Sunday, or were you in youth church? I think Pastor Trey said something about, basically told everyone in the church that Santa wasn't real. Were you?
Yes. And I was like.
And you said to Kim, you're like, yeah, I never believed in that, or something like that. But it was funny because there were definitely some kids in the service that were like, what? Yeah. Right. Yeah. But I remember when I was little, I would put cookies out for baby Jesus. I'd be like, happy birthday, Jesus. And I swear, y'all, some people would be like, she's a Jesus freak. Whatever that is, call me what you want. But I would put these cookies out for baby Jesus, and Pop would never eat the cookies because he was so scared to eat the cookies. So I'd wake up every morning and be like, Jesus didn't eat my cookie. I don't know why I did that, but I really thought he was going to come down and eat my cookies, and he never did. But I never really believed in Santa either. Like, it was weird to me.
Yeah,
so Graham never
man
really made it a thing.
from the North Pole comes once a year in the coldest season and like comes down your chimney and gives you gifts. Like, that's weird.
And also stranger danger.
Yeah.
I don't need anyone coming to my chimney at night, coming to my house.
I'm surprised
That
he
alarm's
didn't
going to
even-
get you, send these dogs. What's that hero? But you know what, Emma, I'm just thinking about? We'll have to put a disclaimer on this episode. So you'll have to do a disclaimer at the beginning to say, for people that might be watching with their kids that believe in Santa. Listen, if you want to believe the magic of the season, that's your business. But we don't want to ruin it for you until the kid's ready. So I know when Emma was saying that Santa's not real, I was like, don't you go to school and tell your friends that. let that be their business. Don't ruin it for them. So I understand how people want this magic of the season, but we never made it a thing or not a thing. We just didn't.
The tooth fairy's not real, it's you. I caught you once.
Yeah, it's just all weird to me. Like, why is some fairy coming in here putting money under your bed for some teeth that fell out your mouth? Like, who comes up with this stuff? At any rate, so we'll definitely put a disclaimer there because you're going to mess up some kids.
I'm sorry.
On this here Christmas Eve.
I'm old.
Oh, 11. She's old. But you were like this when you were single digits. You were like, Santa's not real.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we got so far off the gratefulness. But it was a really good question, Hattie. So I'll pose the question again. And I just want to encourage y'all, ask yourselves this question. Ask the
That's
youth
what I
in
was
your
going
life.
to say. That's the challenge. That's the challenge.
The challenge is, so do Hattie B. McCarter's question, as we get ready for the end of the year with a grateful heart, what are 3 blessings you are grateful for this year? One of them being one you never saw coming. That's the challenge. I know you can't read my cursive. It's the challenge. That's the challenge, people.
That's the challenge. I'm going to have to put a disclaimer at the beginning.
A disclaimer.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, little kids.
Sorry.
Or big kids. I don't know. No shame. But yes, I hope you will take some time out of your day over this holiday season to think about what you're grateful for and think about the unexpected blessings in your life. Yes. And if it takes you some time, be tender with yourself. Okay. If you're in your grief season.
That's okay.
If you're just in a really lonely season, reach out to someone that will help you. Like Aunt Dana did for me. She helped to jog my memory and remind me there's lots to be grateful for.
Yes.
Yeah, and I could have even came to you with that too.
You're grateful for me.
I am, Emma, of course. I'll just put you under the Christmas tree.
Oh.
You're the gift.
Oh.
You were close to Christmas gift, December 17th. Such a great birthday or Christmas gift. Little M. You want to close us out?
Bye.
Happy holidays, y'all. Merry Christmas. I don't know if we'll be back before the new year. If not, we'll see you in the new year.
2026.
Take care.
I'm so glad you joined me and Mommy for this episode of Living in 3D Power. I hope you like it. Now do me a favor before you leave. Subscribe to our Substack and make sure you subscribe to wherever you listen to podcasts too. And hey, do me another favor. Share this episode with a friend or family member. If something we said made you laugh, made you smile, or it might mean something to them, just send it away. Okay, one more favor. That's a lot of favors, I know. Head over to the comments on our social media. Tell us what made you say, "That's deep, bro." Because your words encourage other people and they encourage us too. See you next time.